Well, this seems like a good idea for me to get some easy relation with Calatild. Obviously, this is probably not going to be the greatest thing for security of the realm, but what can I do about that? Anyway, welcome back to Calradia Expanded at War, and we are voting for the new owner of Firth Castle at the moment. So, I'm going to be giving this to Calatild, as I said, because she currently has a -12 relation with us, and obviously that is just unacceptable. So we're going to support her in this. That is going to get us, well, 56 relation with her, which is really good, with her and her clan. And we are here at Epicrotea, and I also leveled up as well, by the way, so I'm going to be putting a point into crossbows and into control, as we usually do, at least now. And I'm going to try and level up my crossbows just a little bit more. Anyway, because this is Epicrotea, this is actually a rebellion that has currently gone on, and that's the reason why Calatild doesn't have any fiefs, by the way. I think this is the only one she has, or she has a number of other ones, but nothing too substantial. So generally, I actually wanted to take this back and then potentially trade with someone else, because obviously if Calatild already has Firth Castle, then maybe that's maybe that's good enough for her. Anyway, we're going to see what happens once we've built this siege tower. Bear in mind, it might not even be necessary for me to create the siege tower here, because it is indeed an Empire Fief, and as we know, Empire Fiefs are absolutely fantastic for their layouts, and they are very weak to siege tower. Well, actually not siege towers, but siege ladders are where it's at here, because you can go up one of these, and you're probably not going to have too much, well, resistance. I mean, look at these guys. Look at these guys. They're not doing anything. They're basically making it super easy for me to get in here, and I'm literally just, well, I'm not even trying difficult. I mean, I'm not even trying hard, shall we say. I'm not even trying difficult. Really? Are you serious? Did I really say that? Yep, I think I did. Anyway, I'm going to try and see if I can maybe just survive the initial, landing point, I guess you could call it. And then I'm going to attempt to potentially do some crossbow action, because obviously that is the main reason why I came in here to begin with. Where are all of the opponents, by the way? I don't see any of them. Oh, it seems like there's a couple in here, so I guess we could do a little bit of damage to them. But I gotta be careful not to take too much damage myself, just from random stuff. Hilariously enough, these militia archers are somehow capable of dealing pretty good damage to me, even with just random hammers that they have available to them. But I guess that is the high penetration value of the hammer coming into it. Right there, because of course that is generally a really good weapon type for dealing with heavily armored troops, and I am indeed a heavily armored troop, so it kind of makes sense, right? Anyway, I should probably switch to my crossbow, shoot a couple of people as they come up here. There we go, nice headshot. Ah, I wanted to shoot him point blank. Oh well, never mind, never mind. And it seems like that is it. I did not level up my crossbow skill at all, but I think I leveled up my athletic skill, which obviously I very badly want to level up to 275, because that is going to give me some much needed survivability. And at the moment I have a very small HP pool, and you can imagine how my HP would actually look if I did not have that HP scaling mod installed. If I did not have the HP scaling mod, I think I would probably have about 110 HP right now, or something along those lines, because I did take a couple of things that would increase my HP to just generally give me a slight buffer to make sure that I don't die almost instantly if I get headshot by something. Obviously, getting shot by a ballista, like we did in the previous episode, well, I can't really do much about that, obviously, because that is a massive, massive hit. Anyway, we've taken Epicrotea, which is actually fantastic. Very, very pleased about this. And I will be taking all of the prisoners, because I will be able to sell most of them. We'll also take all of the loot. Even though I do have over 1 million gold now, I want to continue trying to... just trying to be a little bit more secure in my funds that I have available at a moment's notice. Because you never know, maybe there's going to be a point where maybe I need to buy something or trade for something and I need some cash in a pinch, and that is where that's going to come in. So hopefully that's going to really help us out. Anyway, I now have Epicrotea. So this is a town. So what am I going to do with this? Well, technically, what I could do is I could... let me actually just see here real quick. A lot of people do not like me now because I have executed so many people. So let me actually just have a look. Yes, this guy has negative 61. It is highly unlikely that he will be willing to do anything with us right here. I would like to be able to get Pencannock, though, because it is very close. You know what? Actually, I think it might be better for me to get a deep territory Vlandian fief instead. So, for example, Galend, I think, would be fantastic. Oh, it's actually, really? It's Durthart's fief? Okay, let's try it then, shall we? Yes, let's try it. That might be, it might be good, it might be bad. We'll find out, I suppose. Anyway, I'd like to go in here. Did I sell all the prisoners already? Yes, I sold all the prisoners. Okay, fantastic. I was a little bit worried about that for a second. Anyway, let's just wait here for some time, because I did take a little bit of damage. And look at how much money I'm making every single day. 17,000 just now. Pretty amazing. Anyway, increase your armor by 10% while on foot, and foot troops in your formation gain 5 armor. That's kind of meh. And the other one is increase your stagger damage threshold by 50% while on foot, and also decrease your party's food consumption by 20%. Okay, so these... this is another one of those times where I think to myself, what is going on with these perks? Because on the one hand, you have Spartan, which is the one I just read you, and it is absolutely fantastic, literally. Decreasing your party's food consumption by 20% alone is really powerful, but the other thing, also giving me some resistance to cavalry attacks if I'm on foot. And then, of course, you have Ignore Pain, which, in my opinion, is absolutely useless. I really think this does not do much at all, because increasing your armor by 10% while on foot, I think, okay, yeah, that's absolutely fine, but I think it should be more like 25%. You know, they should make it more... I don't know. They should make it more impactful, because the 20% food consumption thing alone is just making me take this. It's just really making me take that. And the stagger threshold, obviously. That's obviously really, really good. Wait a minute. Where is that? Ah, there it is. There it is. Yes. So Mighty... yeah, they've taken these names from Warhammer, hilariously enough. Some of these skill names. Ignore Pain and Mighty Blow, for example. Anyway, you stun your enemies longer after they block your attack. That's very cool. I like that. And the main thing that we really want is each skill point above 250 grants you 1 hit point, which is just amazing. It really is just so good. Anyway, I will be speaking to Durthart in just a second. Did I send a messenger to him? I think I did send a messenger to him. He just won a tournament at Galend. So let's see whether we can speak to him. He actually is happy to speak to me. He's very happy to do a deal. This is very strange. Okay. I guess I am happy to do this as well. Only 111,000 gold I have to pay with that. And I now have Galend, which is amazing, in my opinion. I think that that is an absolutely wonderful trade. And by the way, I think... didn't something rebel? Wasn't there a place that rebelled against... Oh yeah, it was Calatil. Yeah, never mind. We just took that. Okay, So my original plan for this episode actually was to go into Sturgian territory and see what I could do about maybe increasing their war exhaustion, because as you can no doubt tell, we are on the losing end of things. And by we, I mean the Vlandians, of course. So I would like to be able to prevent that from happening if at all possible. So I'm going to try and take Takor Castle real fast. And then I will try to trade that with someone. I mean, I know Durthart actually owns another castle in Vlandian territory, which is where? Rodatan Castle, right there. That's what he owns. That's the other thing that he owns. So it might make sense for me to actually ask for that next time. So if I do take Takor Castle, that's a good trade for me to make. And hopefully we'll be able to do that. But my main goal is to take Varnovapol, if at all possible. Ah, we also have Fafan here. Hello, Mr. Fafan. Good work, sir. Good work running into me right now. Let's do this. It's been a while, isn't it? Yeah, it's been a while since we've done a field battle, and we get to see our wonderful crossbowmen do an amazing amount of damage. So we'll see if we can do that this time as well. I'm just going to make sure that all of my forces get into good positions. Ooh, seems like the enemy is being a little bit audacious here. I was not really anticipating that, to be honest. I thought to myself, they're going to be really, really passive. They're just going to basically wait all the way in the back of the battlefield. But no, they're being very, very brave and foolish. Oh yes, and foolish. And you know what I'm actually going to do? I think I'm going to get off my horse. Yeah, I think I'm going to get off my horse, but you can see here, look at the sheer devastation that the crossbowmen are causing. The sheer devastation. It's really so incredibly impressive. Okay, so let me just get off here, and I'm going to see if I can shoot some people. Nice. Nice. Okay. I'm kind of surprised that I'm even hitting people, to be honest, because generally they are going to have shields. They're going to have very good shields. And that's also another reason why I personally feel like throwing weapons are super fun, because you have the ability later on in the perk tree to, if you're using javelins that is, to penetrate through shields for the most part. And I can only imagine how incredible, you know, that would be to literally do that in real life or something. To do that in a realistic situation, I mean, that is very satisfying indeed. I mean, obviously, war is not really satisfying, but generally, in a game sense, that is extremely satisfying, considering the ragdoll effect and, you know, how it works in the game is very, very cool. Anyway, I think we are pretty good, because we've only lost one unit so far, and I haven't even told my cavalry to really charge in. Let's tell my infantry to charge in. Let's get my archers to move up as well, because the enemy obviously is a little bit hesitant now, I think. Oh well, they're probably just spawning in their reinforcement area, to be honest, so that's more than likely the case. Let's see if I can do some damage on horseback now. I should, you know, I should probably get, if I wanted to level up my riding skill a little bit more, I don't know whether I even need to be honest, but if I wanted to do that, I should probably get a small-ish crossbow that allows me to use it on horseback, because generally that is, in my opinion, the best way to level up riding skill. Using a ranged weapon on horseback is always the best, and does tend to give me, at least in my experience, a very, very large amount of riding skill. It also does give you your ranged weapon, whatever it is, so a bow, throwing weapon, or a crossbowman, or whatever. It does give you that that respective skill, but the riding skill is just far and away the best. If you can ride at a really fast pace, and you can ride in a sort of parallel direction to where the enemy is, so from side to side basically, then shoot from horseback from a pretty fair distance away, and then if you manage to hit someone, you're probably going to get, I don't even know, probably like what, 10, 15, maybe 20 points of riding skill, depending on your riding skill and how many focus points you have in that. But I have seen that happen in the past. Obviously that was with Chaos's tweaks, which meant that I was earning, I think, 2.5 times or 3 times the amount of experience that you would normally in the native game experience. That's also, by the way, the reason why I personally much prefer playing with a modded game, because the native takes, in my opinion, way too long to get you to any satisfying level of skill. And that is obviously not something that I'm trying to criticize. I'm just trying to say that it's not to my liking. So obviously, if the game is moddable, I'd like to make it so that it is a little bit more streamlined, especially for a YouTube series, because obviously without recording, then I would probably do it very differently, But as it is, obviously, I need to make sure that it is progressing along in a decent pace, because I don't want it to literally stagnate, and then you're going to see me literally running around and killing bandits for the first 25 episodes, because otherwise that's... I mean, I'm obviously exaggerating, but generally that's the kind of thing that you're going to have to do with the native experience gain, which is really unfortunate, actually. I felt like the experience balance in Warband was actually quite good, but I did have some series where I basically said, okay, you know what? I'm going to increase the experience a little bit because it just takes way too long, It just it takes way too long, and I don't want to be, as I say, killing Sea Raiders for 5 episodes by themselves, just literally for doing that, or, spending 3 hours or whatever off screen just killing Sea Raiders. That is not the most riveting time, is it? So, yeah, generally, I do prefer to have a bit more of a streamlined experience. I think, actually, what would be really cool is if the developers could include an experience gain slider to the options menu. It doesn't have to be a mod or anything, but it could just literally be a default option. So you could basically say, I want a hard experience. In other words, I want to only earn 50% of the regular experience. If you really want to, take a long time to do anything. But on the other hand, if you didn't want that, well, masochistic experience, I suppose. I mean, that's basically what that would be, if you already, have a slow experience and then you make it even slower, then of course it's going to be pretty painful. But generally, on the other hand, if you'd like it to be a little bit faster, then you could make it, 2 times the amount of experience gain, or 3 times, or if you wanted to go super crazy and level up a super god mode kind of character, then you could go 10 times the amount of experience. But obviously, there is a wide variety of different mods out there that can actually, change your experience gain however you want, and, there are those... There are ways to do it. And you don't need to worry about it too much. But yeah, it's kind of interesting anyway. Kind of interesting to talk about that kind of stuff. Anyway, I find it interesting. If you don't find it interesting, I apologize. But that's just it's just a discussion. Anyway, there we go. That is indeed it. I still get really I don't know what it is, but I get it like a surge of shock whenever that piece of music or that sound effect plays, because whenever that sound effect plays, that's usually the sound effect that they use for the death of a clan member. So whenever there's a death in your clan, they play that sound, and I'm always like, wait a minute, what happened? Did something happen? And that's always what I think nowadays whenever that happens. So yeah, I would like there to be a different noise if at all possible. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's such a minor thing, and it is generally just me that is affected by that, but it's somewhat disconcerting nevertheless. Anyway, we now have the close-fisted trait. Of course we do. Yes, because we are basically claiming everything all the time. Oh, look at this. We are apparently going to be making peace with Sturgia. This is obviously not what I want. I do not want that. Yeah, I do not want that at all, which is pretty bad, because I would like to be able to take Varnovapol before that happens. So I have, I think, 48 hours before this peace agreement goes through, because I can assume that a lot of people are going to be voting in favor of it, and I cannot say no to it, because there are just so many people saying yes. So it's just going to go through no matter what I do. There are 423 units in the garrison here. Might be a little bit too difficult for me, but we're going to see. Anyway, Rodotan Castle, that is what I'm going to do, and Takor Castle, and we're going to have to spend 200,000 to be able to swap these, which is perfectly fine with me. I don't have a problem with that at all. Alright, let's go into Varnovapol real fast and try and get this going. We have a lot of people that have leveled up, which is nice. And now, ooh, this is... They've got 200 more units, like literally straight up 200 more units than we have. And they may indeed have an army around here somewhere that may intervene. But hopefully they will not make peace before I am ready to go in here. I think I might literally just go in. Oh, never mind. Okay, I literally face-palmed right there. Okay, well, yes. Unfortunate, but not unforeseen. Yes, not a surprise. Not a surprise. Okay, well, I don't think I can really do much now then. That's kind of unfortunate. I really wanted to take Varnovapol at least. And that seems to be it. Yeah. That seems to be it. There is a very cool system, though, that Calradia Expanded actually added, which is this little water crossing right here. Apparently, you can only use the water crossings. You can't actually run around in the oceans anymore. Because I think you could do that before, maybe? A little bit more free roam sort of thing. But, yeah. Doesn't really matter to me anyway. I mean, that's not that big a deal, is it? Okay, so there we have it. Right. Done a little bit of fief trading. Done a little bit of conquering. And the Botanians are basically done, as we can no doubt tell. If we take a look at the diplomacy screen right here, you can see that the Botanians, yep, they are basically done. They only have 3 towns and 2 castles remaining. And who else do we have potentially to fight soon? Ah, wow, the Azurai have 17 towns, if you can believe that. The only place where we are beating them in a significant fashion is through the use of castles, and that's it. Otherwise, they are amazing. They are very, very good. Sturgians, as you can see, they only have 2 towns, 3 castles, and Britannia's in the same boat. Crusade. Okay, are we going to be declaring war against anyone else? No, it doesn't seem like it. So it seems like the Azurai are going to be our next opponents. Oh, yeah. I wanted to mention this. Okay, so yeah, this is what's currently going on with the abdication. Now, here's the thing. I said in the previous episode, that I was wondering why factions were leaving support and we were losing support for the abdication. Now, here's the thing. I'm not the leader of this, okay? I'm not the leader of this. It is the clan of Daetir. Daetir are the ones that are currently leading this particular vote for abdication. And it's not me that, it's not my reputation with all of these factions that is going to sway them. So I just thought I wanted to mention that to clarify that point, because them leaving is not due to me having a low relation. It's literally just because that's what the AI does. They just generally tend to leave sometimes. I'm not entirely sure why. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Next time, we're hopefully going to be at war against someone else. If I'm not, then obviously I'm going to make sure that we do declare war relatively soon. And it seems like this might be a very good time for us to take Amatatis. As you can quite clearly see, the Azurai have overextended. I think that they've overextended quite a serious amount, and we could probably drop in on them and do some pretty heavy damage. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.